Hi, I'm Shanna Covey. Welcome back to my blog. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch my first blog. I know I was asking a lot by making it 20 minutes, but I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. In the first blog, I kind of went over everything, all the zigs and zags that I made over the last 10 years to come to the point where I am now. And what I want to do with the next few blogs is break out some of the major lessons that help move me along my path. And thinking about what the first major breakout lesson should be, I really felt that it was a lesson of personal responsibility. When I first started to learn about this concept of personal responsibility, I really thought that this would be a no-brainer. I thought that this one I had down packed because I was a responsible person. I went to work, I paid my taxes, all those things I was on top of. But as I started to learn more about what exactly personal responsibility means, it really opened up this whole new world for me, because what it means is taking responsibility of your own choices, of your own thoughts regarding what you think is possible for yourself. So for me, for instance, what I believe all of us do is that we, for the most part, we continue to model what we know. I was just recreating what I thought was possible for me. So in my scenario, I was following a philosophy that said, go to school, get a good degree, get a good job. That's what I thought was possible for myself. But in learning this idea, what it meant to be personally responsible, I realized that I had a conscious choice to make in this matter. Did I consciously want to choose to follow that philosophy, or was there another philosophy that I was more in line with my heart? Which definitely there was. So what I found when I first started to look at this concept of personal responsibility, I found that by being conscious of my thoughts, it determined what was possible for me. So when I first started to kind of do work on myself regarding this, I looked at possibility as great, as extravagant, as just having an extravagant lifestyle, if you will. And so that was some of the first things I started to focus on. But what I also realized is that this choice ran the entire spectrum from leading this hugely extravagant life to leading a very simple life that can be quite fulfilling as well. What I found myself focusing on were experiences, which, as you know from my first blog, is how I ended up being able to travel extensively in Central America the last year spending in Guatemala. That's where I placed my own value. It doesn't matter if you choose an extravagant lifestyle, or you choose experiences, or you choose to live simply. It doesn't matter. The point that I want to convey here is that you have the opportunity to make that choice. Other things that go along with personal responsibility is that at a very basic level, it is how you respond to an event. So a lot of times you see that with, when someone becomes a victim, it's obviously because they've attached a negative story to whatever the event might be. In my own life, in this case, I was modeling what I knew, which was never to be a victim. I grew up in a home environment with a very strong, independent mom. So that part, I was fortunate that I didn't have to come over the hurdle of understanding what it means to move from a place of victimhood to to a place of empowerment. I was very fortunate in that. But if you find that by looking at your own situation and really taking a hard look at it, and you find that maybe you placed yourself in the place of being the victim, realize that you have the conscious choice to attach whatever story to that event, and it really is just a story. What I mean by that is, if you have something negative, or something that you see as negative happen in your life, like an event. To give my own personal example of what happened in my life, that my mom, as how I learned independence from, is that she had to go through the experience of losing her spouse, and whenever my brother and I were really young. So she had a choice in how she reacted to that event. And fortunately for us, she reacted with strength and with independence, and complete opposite of victimhood. So in the way that I was raised, that's always a sense I had. I never knew that I was going without. I never saw myself at all as a victim in the situation, and I owe all of that to my mom, and I owe all the independence that she exuberated throughout my entire life. That I owe it all to her, and hopefully I picked up on a lot of it. Probably not all of it, but a lot of it. So I guess what I'm saying is that we have events that happen to us all the time, and that's called life. And when you see that you have a conscious choice in responding to that event, you're the one who's choosing if you want to attach a negative story to it and place yourself in the role of being a victim, or if you want to place yourself in a more empowered position and just either see it for simply reality as something that happened and accepting it full on without attaching a story to it, or if you have a choice, let's try to attach a positive story to it. So I found as I started on this process with choosing how I wanted to consciously create my life. Now this idea of consciously creating our life, now that's what comes along with this entire path, this entire concept of personal responsibility, and going beyond that is consciously choosing your own life. Whether that is attracting the vision of the life that you want, or consciously choosing how it looks right now, today, and that has to do with perception. But so what I found was we have one life to live. As I say, it's not a dress rehearsal. So I really wanted to try to make the best run of it, and I wanted to do things that really lit me up and really got me excited. So I started to think about what those things might be and focus on them. So that's what happens is we are constantly creating our life. We're constantly attracting our lives based on our thoughts. It just is a matter of, are you unconscious to those thoughts or you're conscious to them? But it's very empowering once you become conscious to them, because then you have used your ability to choose what life you're creating. You become an active participant instead of a passive passenger in it. So I found that I was super excited by that. As I mentioned in the first blog, the first thing that I did was I started to create this list based on things that I wanted to be, do, and have, and it was real exciting. That's how I kind of ran the gamut of what is it if we've got this one life to live. What are these things that I wanted to do, or experience, or have, or be, and as I mentioned in the first blog, one of the biggest things for me was experiences, was going to other countries and fully immersing myself in them. So I saw those things come to life. But just what I want to impart on you is that your situation, of course, doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to be based in experience. I have, my brother and my sister-in-law. My brother and my sister-in-law have wanted a house for a while, and so they focused. I know my sister-in-law focused on a house for a while, and that's what they purchased, and that's where they're going, and that's what happiness looks like to them. So what I'm saying is to think about, what does happiness look like to you, and what is it that you need to consciously think about to bring that about. Now, I don't want to skip over and think that this is the easiest thing to do, especially if you're coming from, unfortunately, a very negative place. That there are there's gonna be a lot of work that you have to do. In my own situation, I just had to do a lot of work on believing in possibility and believing that these other things were possible for me, because I had kept myself from believing. For a long time, I just kind of lived, like I said, right to here. So for me, it was overcoming that hump. Other people, if you're coming out of a place of having victimized yourself, you're gonna have to really be open to going within and understanding, how is that serving you, and really understanding from the depths of yourself what is the truth of the situation Sorry about the technical difficulty. I think previously we were talking about moving from a place of victimization to a place of empowerment. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, but what I do want to offer is, I just want to say that there are a lot of great tools out there. One that I would highly recommend is Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is. She has a really practical system to help any person in any situation that's willing and open to move from a place of victimization to a place of empowerment. Her system will work as long as you stay open to it. So I recommend it. What I want to say about personal responsibility and what it's meant in my own life is just that I just think it's been absolutely amazing, because it's opened me up to the idea of living my authentic life. It's opened me up to believing that it's possible, and it's opened me up to training my mind such that I can bring that into my life. So that's what I would hope for you. I would hope for everyone out there that this lesson in personal responsibility would help you get that much closer to living your authentic life. Looking forward to sharing more lessons in the future, and I again thank you for joining me today. Bye.